race day vlog, although this is Sunday. No, is it Sunday? Saturday. This is Saturday and we're not racing until Monday because it's Easter Monday. So anyway, we'll see what's happening here. As you can see, TT's about to go on. We're going to try and put the flight case with the fuel on after behind the Golf. So, all ready to rock. Missing a few race numbers on that. This is all ready to go after I knock front end off. Sorry Scott, sorry Paul. The other TT's not looking good for next weekend, but we're going to do it. So I'll help these get this, just 1 second. I'll help these get this up. We'll see how we get on. Ready? Wish us luck on Monday. 2-hour race. 2 hours and 5 minutes, something like that. 750 Motor Club of Enduro.
It would appear that Rise left his GoPro in here, but it's currently 6:20, and I'm off to pick up James, Matisse and Stalianos, and we are on our way to Donington. Wish us luck. Hello.
This just sounds like copyright issues.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Turn it off. We're not allowed radio in car, are we?
No, we were whistling a very, very good rendition of the Beatles.
It must be down here. He said he was going to be waiting on there though. Well, he said he was meeting us somewhere here. Oh, is that him? No.
We were in a race, so.
Yeah, just stood on the end of the street corner in a race suit. Oh, he's here, look. Look at them. I bet you were trying to kicking me out in front. Morning! Hello! I didn't know you were going to have that in my face. I'd have done my hair. Right, yeah. Your right, not my right. To me.
That's the same, right?
I was seeing if you were awake. 32 to left.
Didn't mind an hour in the paddock.
Yeah, then right.
I'm doing 10 miles an hour.
Just have to shove somebody's trailer out of the way. I think he's going to struggle to get where he wants to get.
Morning.
I'll just run up. You alright? So I'll get that. Needs sticking up car. Go on then, get it up. We've got everything, James. I'll do top one. So we're just at Donington now. That is one of them brackets. We haven't started racing yet. So probably 40 minutes away from needing to be out on track, so probably 20 minutes away from us getting called. Golf's ready, where you test TT's ready. Everybody knows what they need to do, so got a little bit of a different video here, and it's turned out, my bad, we're not going to need it as much as we could possibly have needed it last year. But anyway, so Race Logic has kindly borrowed us this, which is a pit lane timer. So if I look here, we're waiting for pit entrance, exit, whatever menu. So I need to go on here and set the entrance and exit. So I've got to drive. You can do it walking, but I'm going to drive, start the entrance, do the exit, and then it should work. I expect it. We'll put their video in to explain how it works better. But this is what we need here. We've got a 3 minute stationary pit stop to do. So that really is the easiest thing that this can do. If you watch their video, if you've got like a sort of minimum pit time entry to exit, then it makes a massive difference, because it'll tell you when to slow down, when to speed up, all that sort of stuff. So I'm a bit disappointed we're not going to race, at least as far as I'm aware, we're not doing a race this year that had worked for. But I wanted to test this out and see how it works, and decide if we're going to buy one or not. Red flag at minute, everybody's just waiting. Adam's in the TT, Scott's still in the Golf. I could have knocked a few seconds off that lap time, so not happy that I've had to get out, but I've done my 3 laps, let Adam get out and do his 3 laps. Qualify where we qualify. So they're the fastest, 40, 92. Yeah. 45, 60. 45, 53. So we've got a fair way to go, but we can do it. So, quali is over. Ron Baker, Carl Swift, 140.37. They're the guys we raced with last year. We're down in 6th, just got pipped at end. 142.44. I think there's a 41 in our car, but not a 40. And then Scott, wherever he is down here somewhere. Okay, so Scott, 44.89, which is a good lap time for that car. And that is what position in class? So we're looking for B's above him. So 1B above him. So Chris Freeman, Golf, 143.97. Scott's done 44.89, so nearly a second quicker. It's going to be hard to find that second, but see what we can do. No, we didn't need to. Now the finish split is too low, even though it's 10 mil too high. So we're going to go down there and show you what they're talking about. Right, push it forward now. To where it was. So you reckon you're a bit further forward?
I'm like there with the ticket.
Try and go under, Jake. I don't think you tried hard enough. Oh, he's The whole splitter saga is sorted. We are having to make any alterations. Maybe we'll put a bit of that in there. But apparently we got more reasonable people afterwards. Just no idea why we needed to get down to that level to get what we wanted. But anyway, it's all fine. We didn't need to do any appeals and pay any money. So the Golf just getting some checks, string lining, TT, we're just playing with fueling and what have you. And Adam should be looking at his videos. He's not, so I'm going to the toilet, see where I can go quicker. My car, Scott's disappeared down there. We're all good to go. So of course Adam's got a babysit in, which we'll put a picture of what that looks like. It's easier for me to go in second than it is for me to go in first and then try and get his babysit in. So, see what we can do.
pole position and on his own for the whole race is going to be
So when them lights go out, no matter where the cars are on track, they're racing.
Of this race, and here is Matt Fazy then having his first run in this Steve Hewson run, driven and built Cayman. But the race is about to get underway.
Safety car peels in then. 125 minutes of racing around Donington Park for the Tequila Club Enduro Championship. Get underway now. Lights have gone out and away we go. And it's Carl Swift and Andy Marston then, but it's Marston that's made the best of the starts. Or has he? Swift goes down the inside into Redgate Corner for the first time. Big grid of cars. They're still coming out of Goddard's as the leads already at Hollywood. It is such a huge field.
I don't think we're going to get anywhere past third in the TT unless somebody has a problem in front. Them two cars are just quicker, simple as. And Scott's P1 in class. I think he might drop down on track a couple of places. We'll see. As long as it's P1 in class, we don't bother. Safety cars in.
Issues, by the way, is the news on that one. So, oh, what a big moment for Carl Swift, and he's off! He's off! He's going to be into the gravel, surely, on the restart. Yes, he is. He's found some fluid that wasn't dressed, I think, more than likely, and he's going to resume, but he's going to resume in 4th or 5th or 6th position.
Nobody else went off, so whether he just changed the brake bias on the car that was wrong, I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely right. And a bit further up, we can see it's very close here.
Change for second.
And it is a change, isn't it? Yes, it is indeed. So through to second place has gone the number 1 car, Carl Swift, fighting back. He's 3.2 seconds behind Swift now. He's got ahead of Adam Blair in the Audi. He's now got 3.2 seconds to catch Andy Martin in the BMW M3.
Last year. Now that's Class B Scott parking now behind the Porsche Cayman. Perhaps I missed that in all of that then. So Matt Fazy has got to the front of Class B. So that was Scott Parkin trying to chase him, and he is catching him. There's only a couple of attempts between them now. Meanwhile, up front, that gap coming down from Andy Marston to Cole Swift, and Adam Blair trying to go with Cole Swift, but a much wider line in the Audi TT. As now the pit window is open because we've had 30 minutes of racing. Adam Blair is being given a penalty already for exceeding track limits of 5 seconds. Didn't have that problem back 20 years ago, did you, in things like Formula 3? But that's obviously a newer regulation in Motorsport UK racing, and already, not many racing laps into this race, Adam Blair has got a penalty.
To be fair, 20 odd years ago, most circuits wouldn't have wanted to exceed track limits, but the sort of geography of the circuits has changed, hasn't it, with much more appealing runoff areas than you've had before.
David Goodin in the pit, so is Nigel Green saw a pro driver still only allowed to do 50% of the race, or is that regulation no more? But if Nigel Green still gets in now, if that regulation still remains, that is not ideal. I'm sure it was the Goodin BMW that I just saw come down the pit lane. More penalties for Adam Blair. He's now got a 15-second penalty for exceeding track limits, so not too sure what Ryan Parker will be making of this in the pit lane.
So that's not me, that's Adam. Plus 50, plus 5. That's for track limits. We'll try and find them.
And they accelerate up across the line. I think that's the Class C leader they're about to lap, the Graham Kelly BMW, who continues to lead Class C by about 7 seconds over the Hayes and Sabiani BMW, then the Dougal Munro.
Through penalty. He should be coming now. He's here. Give him Rod.
Is it Adam?
Yeah.
I thought you were Scott. They were separated by only half a second as the cars came across that line to complete lap 17.
The Exige has pulled away from the Class B cars, which have swapped around because Scott Parkin has got back ahead of Matt Fazy. So Volkswagen back ahead of Porsche, and Scott Parkin's just set his personal best lap of the race.
Yeah, as well. I suspect some drivers, especially the solo drivers here, will be rolling the dice and waiting for a safety car, won't they?
Quicker now. He's not in problems. Here comes the Class B leader. That is now Matt Fazy again, and he's pulling away from Scott Parkin. Between them, from pretty much the back of the grid, is the George Haler Seat Leon that was on the podium here a year ago. Well, he is out with Steve Hewson in this Porsche, although it does look on this lap Scott Parkin is a bit closer again, but there is that Class A Seat between them. And Scott Parkin was at 1.2 seconds quicker than Fazy on that lap, so the gap is reduced. Sammy Venables is slower in the BMW M4, the Elite Motorworks car. In the background, the two Class B leaders are together and they touch. I think there was contact there between the two Class B leaders out of the hairpin, but involved in all of that phase, they're still touching, and they are very close to making contact into Redgate Corner, the two Class B leaders, Scott Parkin and Matt Fazy. We'll follow up on that in a moment, but first let's hear from Matt Sucklin, who's down in the pits. Good to see some new names out there in the 2022 season. Here are the Class B leaders. It's Matt Fazy that we ride on board with. It's the Diesel Golf up ahead of Scott Parkin in the Darkside Developments car that runs wide, just about stays on the circuit. So that's all happening in front of Matt Fazy then, who turns his way down towards the S's, brakes, and down the gears on the flappy paddo box there, gets a bit sideways and then accelerates back off after the Class B leader. They're now, as they haven't pitted, in 9th and 10th overall and 15 seconds ahead of Jonathan Packer, and they're about to lap that Toyota Yaris that we've enjoyed seeing out there in this race. And as the leaders come through, 4 seconds apart now, Cole Swift to Andy Marston. David Goodin is back in So perhaps Nigel Greenstall will get a run now, but that car's way down out of contention.
What penalties he got? Why has he stood there? How come he's still here?
Because the clerk of the course wants to speak to him, so he's to stay there until he comes.
What part of driving formally officer
Was you filming that?
Yeah, he's gone all over the place. He's hit the sensors 13 times. Well, that car has. So, we'll do one more. And if I have to break off my cream tea again, I might be a little slow.
Something wrong with his car anyway.
Something wrong with here.
Are one of the Class B contenders. This is back on board with Matt Fazy, who was entertaining through McLean's a lap ago. This time he gets understeer, then oversteer later on. There's one of the area Sayats, that's the now Simon Wallace driven car, isn't it? That is rather getting on in his way through the corners.
Yeah, and Fazy, although he's in a Class B car, gets ahead of it through Coppice and down the straights, but the TCR car is level pegging with it more or less down the straight. I don't know, he's going to pull him behind, I think. I don't know if that right indicator's going for a reason, but it kind of indicated he was going to pull him behind. He's not got the pace, has he, Simon Wallace, coming off the corner there? So I think Simon Wallace possibly in trouble in that area motorsport car. But here are the two Class B front runners together now then. Scott Parkin and Matt Fazy. Yeah, definitely an ups, because he's lost a bit of ground there. Heading up towards Goddard, the hairpin.
To be fair, I thought that was going to be worse than what it ended up being. I thought we were going to see some...
I thought the same at McLean's a couple of laps ago. But they're coming out, the two Class B leaders, nose to tail, and in, what are they, 7th and 8th overall now, with the pit stop sort of in mid-flow.
In the background, we saw Will Beach come in the Audi to serve one of those penalties that we heard about a moment ago. So on to Hollywood and down the Craner curve for these Class B leaders. Up over the curve through the left-handed element there. So that battle continues to go on. They're now 15 seconds ahead of Jonathan Packer, who's third. How's McLean's going to go this time for Matt Fazy when he turns in and accelerates up the corner with no drama?
Yeah, it's different every lap, isn't it, with Matt Fazy at McLean's? Can't tell from one lap to the next what's going to happen. So that's the Hayes and Subiani BMW head. I think it's now Subiani aboard, isn't it? In that car.
Yeah, looks like they've stopped. There's the Mini out there, the Cooper S, which was the car shared between Neville Jones and Matthew George.
Now we decided, let him go, let him come back in. Something up with gearbox anyway, weren't happy to be sat there for that stop go all that time. So it's my turn now, race is dead, brakes are probably dead, so oh dear. Wish me luck.
It's another brand on track. The Audi TT is pitted now. Adam Blair.
So what was that from 6th, was it, in the end?
Where's it gone? Oh, so perhaps it's been in already because it's down to 23rd. So
yeah, it's probably already been in and made it stop.
What's Cole Swift up to here? So is Andy Schulz now in the 46 M3? I'd imagine. I
suspect he probably is if he's giving Carl Swift a race.
Here the Class B leaders still going at it.
They are. Different lines taken through the Goddard hairpin that time. And out of it they come along the Wakeoff straight towards Redgate Corner. It is Parkin still ahead, but is that going to be the case? Will they get to a faster Class A car threading its way between them as well, which gets out of shape? That's Dave Griffin. And now the 12 car, the parking Golf, tries to go back from the inside but can't live with the BMW as it gets the power on down through the corner curves. So that car of the BMW, where is that running?
Third.
And it's running third, so he's a lap ahead now.
That's right, yeah, Dave Griffin's having a good run. And he's not losing any time to the two leaders. He's still only 20 seconds behind. Class B leader is in, I think. That's Scott Parkin. He's got out of the car while the car is being refueled. Trying to be cooled down as well. You can see the big blower there at the front. So fuel is going in.
Yeah, of course, that's Ryan's twin. Ryan now out in the number 11 car. This is another Slide Sports built car, the Golf. And Scott, like his brother, because they are twins, 32 years of age. He's the owner of Darkside Developments. He's been racing since 2019.
So I guess this will be a good time for the team to inform him of that penalty for the car he's battling with.
Yeah, that's a good point.
The Houston and Fazy car. We've got also, most of these cars will have team radios as well, so that information should be forthcoming.
Engine's dead.
To damage it.
That's Scott Parkin's Golf.
I think it might be.
Is that at the end of the pit lane?
Just trying to figure out exactly where that is. We're looking through the fence, but it does look like, yeah, it's at Starkey's Bridge. So it's the number 12 car of Scott Parkin, who was the Class B sort of effective leader earlier on. There's Will Beach getting his helmet off. He's out of the race. So a couple of rapid drivers out of the race in quick succession, it seems. So that's number 12, we think, off. And here's number 13, Matt Fazy into the pit lane.
Yeah, thanks guys, down here with Matt, who's just jumped out of the number 13 machine. Matt, that was a really long stint there, left it right to the last few minutes.
It was. I think Neil was actually trying to torture me, if I'm honest. That was tough. That was seriously tough.
Now, you're looking at your class position. Do you reckon you can win that?
I hadn't got the data on who had not stopped in our class that's currently ahead of us on track. Was I first in class when I came in?
The boys will be able to tell us upstairs in a bit, but you were up there, I think.
Yeah, I mean, the car seems to be going well. It was my first time in that car, so I'm still getting used to her. But it was really, you know, we didn't think that we'd get close to some of the Golfs. So yeah, to have that sort of pace, especially as my first time in the car, I'm quite happy.
The Audi TT's still going after problems, but down in 24th for Ryan Parkin.
Yeah, there he is now, the number 11 car. It was started by Adam Blair. Just behind him is the Flying Tangerine Racing Chris Webster Janetta. It, on correct times, is going to be Jonathan Packer, isn't it, that wins Class B, because he was only just under a second behind Steve Hewson on the road in the Porsche Cayman, but Hewson had that 5-second penalty to bear from what Matt Fazy incurred in the first part of the race.
He needs a push. Run and game a push. So Scott retired, engine problems, I think a coolant pipe's blown off, but we'll see. Mine, understeering, which is not caused by, can we see it? Yeah. There we go. Rear shock absorber loose. Looks like it's pulled the threads out, which is not ideal. We need to sort out. So, that appears to be our problem. Water pipe has exploded off. as a quick summary of today, terrible. If you want to listen to it longer one, stick around 5 minutes. But quite a few people come up talking to us about the cars, happy, watch videos, stuff like that. So hello, thank you for coming. Casey the super fan wanted a picture. And yeah, Scott's blown a little water pipe off and killed the engine, so we're going to be busy to get ready for this weekend, which we're anyway. And the TT just wouldn't turn, which made Adam come off track a million times. Got a problem with shocker. 13 to be precise. Yeah, 13 times I reckon they come off track. That's definitely an horse box. Right, chaps. See you later on.
Thanks for a fantastic day.
Yeah. What we doing? It's miserable, isn't it?
Great racing. Great day. See you later, guys.
See you in a bit.